See, setbacks do have their own reality. When life knocks us down, getting back up isn't as simple as it always sounds. It's not just about standing again. It's about rising with a renewed sense of power, even if you don't feel powerful. It's about getting up with a heart that refuses to give in no matter what. And believe me, life will challenge you. You might have the best laid plans, but eventually a storm will come, a roadblock will appear, and it will feel like everything is standing in your way. Now that's the truth. I had to face some real struggles back in college. I had plans. I knew what I wanted to achieve. But life had other ideas. Setbacks cropped up one after another, and I felt so frustrated. I remember sitting there thinking, why does this have to be so hard? And one day when I was feeling particularly down, I called my mother. I told her I'm so tired of struggling. It feels like every time I try to get closer to my goal, something pulls me back. And my mother listened patiently. And then she said something that will stay with me forever. She said, sometimes you have to go the long way around. Welcome to Words for the Soul, Food for the Heart podcast. And I'm your host, Jackie Wickware. Today we pick up part 2 of Going the Long Way Around. So I had to go the long way around. It was a journey I did not anticipate having to take. Nevertheless, I was going that way anyhow. And in this place of reluctance, I protested. But I also unlocked new discovery. See, as I shared in the previous episode, what my mother was trying to tell me is the long way around would teach me what I could not probably learn otherwise. What was that learning? One, life doesn't always unfold the way we expect. However, every experience is meant to shape us. And the long way around nobody ever wants to take, because it's about detours, delays, and the long winding road that don't always let us in on exactly where we're going or what we might end up dealing with. Yet today I invite you to journey with me into a truth that may pinch but will also revive. Sometimes the greatest blessings come disguised as the longest waits. I thought my path was clear. I had my plans, my dreams, and my goals laid out like a perfectly paved road. But life, oh life, had another idea. I didn't just find myself redirected. It threw me onto a road so far away from the plans I had made. I thought I'd never find my way back. Now, it was painful, and it felt like everything I had worked for, hoped for, and believed in was slipping through my fingers. And maybe you've been there. Maybe you're there right now, feeling stuck, waiting, watching time move forward while you feel left behind. But here's the truth. I've come to realize that waiting wasn't a waste. It was a workshop. I can laugh now, but it wasn't funny then. And yet Romans chapter 8, verse 28 reminds us that all things somehow work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to God's purposes. And what that means is even the detours and delays can serve a divine purpose in the waiting. I lost the life I was looking forward to, in a sense, but something incredible happened. I gained the life I was purposed to live. Every delay, every disappointment, every tear shed in frustration became the soil where something new was planted. And what felt like a catastrophe at the time was actually a gift. And here's the power of the long way around. It in fact should, it will, if you allow for it, refine your character. The fire of waiting burns away impatience and entitlement, leaving behind refined strength and patience. The Apostle James speaks about this in James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4, saying, "Consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces" what? It produces perseverance. See, the waiting and the testing takes something away that is not needed and leaves something behind in its place that readies you for your next move. And yet before that move could be made, I still had to wait. Reminds me of the scripture that says, "Be still and know that I am God." Stillness can deepen your vision. When you can't move forward, you're forced to look inward. In the stillness, you'll discover dreams you didn't even know you had. Stillness tends to bring clarity. It prepares you for more. The long way isn't punishment, it's preparation. And here's what else I finally understood. My success was not something waiting for me in the future. It was already with me. I had spent so much time believing that success was this big, singular event I needed to reach. I thought it was out there way ahead of me, waiting at the end of my journey. But during those 6 months of waiting, I had a revelation. Success wasn't a destination. It was woven into every step I had already taken. It's right here in the progress that you make every day. Those 4 years of college wasn't just years, they were a series of victories for me. I didn't see it that way at the time, but each class, each project, each assignment was a challenge that I met and overcame. Every completed course wasn't just earning credits, it was building. Beyond just knowledge, it was building in me character and strength. It was building a pattern of how to face problems head on and find real solutions for them. The truth is, I had been succeeding all along, just in ways that I hadn't recognized yet. Real success is incremental. It's built in those small, everyday victories that we often overlook. And listen, even when our plans fail and fall apart, the skills we have gained along the way, the problem solving, being persistent, unwilling to quit, being adaptable, consistently showing up and doing the work, all of that remains. That's what real success looks like, not just the end result. Success isn't something that happens once we arrive. It's who we become through the journey. And what feels like a setback is often a setup for something far greater than you imagine and that you can even see right now. What do I mean? The waiting season wasn't wasted time for me. The detour was a setup for my ultimate purpose. It always is. See, the foundation of every meaningful relationship, I learned, starts with the relationship that I have with myself. I had to learn to honor me, to recognize my worth, even when external validation wasn't there. I had to hear me, to listen to my own needs, my own desires. I had to believe in me, to have confidence in my ability, and trust that I was enough just as I am. But ultimately, the most important relationship I discovered I'll ever have beyond myself is the one with my Creator. And knowing that wherever I am never there alone. I didn't just appear out of nowhere. I came from somewhere. And that source, that power, the very essence of life, who I call God, was, is, and will always be with me. And the same is true for you. It took time for me to realize that this relationship isn't distant or abstract. It's meant to be deeply personal and an ever-present presence. I had to become more aware of this connection, to not just acknowledge it, but to nurture it, develop it, and let it guide me. Let it guide me through intentional conversation, through seeking, through prayer, and most of all, through listening. I strengthen this bond. And to those standing at the crossroads of disappointment, hear me. You are not stuck. You are being strengthened. You are not forgotten. You are being formed. You are not lost. You are being led. Take heart. This is not the end of your journey. You can rise from any present struggle, whatever it may be. What once pinched the life out of me is exactly what pinched the purpose back into me. And I'm here today not just as someone who survived, but as someone who was transformed by the long way around. And so will you. I want to say to you today, rise up. Believe again. Keep walking. Your destination is still ahead, and it's better than you could have ever planned. Jeremiah 29:11 reassures us, saying, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." The long way around is not a one-time trip. It's not a road we travel once, never to venture again. It's a path that life leads us down. And time again, sometimes by choice, but often reluctantly. Whether we plan for it or not, there will be seasons where the direct route is closed off to us. Other people will be traveling the direct route. They'll be going straight to where they want to go and want to get to, and you see it and you think you have been left out and left off the plan. That's not true. Sometimes the direct route is closed to you. And you find yourself on that winding, uncertain road called the long way around. And people have walked that road believing there was no way back, convinced that they were lost in a place with no point of return. But the truth is, that road, that passageway yields some of life's best results. In the next few weeks, I'll be introducing you to people who have traveled the long way around and lived to tell about it. These individuals who faced life's unexpected detours, endured challenges, and emerged stronger, wiser, and more authentic than ever. Through their journey, they became their true selves, and now they're ready to share their powerful stories with you. Why? Because their stories, I am convinced, will lift your spirit in ways that inspire you to keep moving forward no matter where you are on your path in life. And these stories will encourage you and remind you that every step, even the hardest ones, has a purpose. And so as we close out today, I want to thank you for joining us today. If something was said to help you to encourage you, click the follow button and certainly hit the share button for those who you know can benefit from this message. This is Words for the Soul, food for the heart. And I've been your host, Jackie Wickware. Until next time, keep your head to the sky.